man and a woman stand in separate grassy coastal locations. The image shifts between the pair continuously as they speak. They are museum scientists.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Hi, I'm Susie.
So welcome to the Isle of Wight, where we're going to be talking about 6 of its key dinosaurs.
We're going to tell you some facts about these dinosaurs and which one we think is the best.
So I'm going to start this ball rolling by talking about one of the dinosaurs known from here, an animal called Ornithopsis.
Ornithopsis, is that even a thing?
So the reason Susie's being so rude is that Ornithopsis is actually only known from a few bits and pieces of bone. But it's a long-necked sauropod dinosaur, a relative of our own beloved Dippy, and it's only known from right here on the Isle of Wight.
A close-up image of a large brown and black fossil alongside an animation of a long-necked dinosaur silhouette with text that reads Ornithopsis, Ornithopsis, bird-like, length 15 to 18 meters, diet herbivorous, lived early Cretaceous.
And actually, there are quite a lot of bits of this sort of dinosaur that are known from here, but none of them have been described very well, so we don't know that much about this animal.
So one of the key things we're hoping for in future is that a keen paleontologist will come along and find a more complete skeleton of this animal to answer many of the mysteries there still are about it.
What about Valdosaurus?
Well, Valdosaurus obviously wins the prize for probably the most average dinosaur from the Isle of Wight.
Valdosaurus is a plant-eating dinosaur. It walked on 2 legs. Its hands were used for grasping. And, well, that's pretty much all there is to say about it.
Several long, thin fossils rest in the museum display case. An animation of a long-tailed dinosaur silhouette accompanies text that reads Valdosaurus, Valdosaurus, wheeled-in lizard, length 3 meters, diet herbivorous, lived early Cretaceous.
I mean, to be honest, it does have some things going for it. It was probably a fairly speedy runner, but that would have all it would have had going for it. So if it was attacked by a big carnivorous dinosaur, all it could do basically was run away and hope.
Distinctly average.
Which brings us on nicely to thinking about the kinds of animals that might have eaten Valdosaurus. So the next dinosaur I'm going to propose is a big ferocious meat eater called Neovenator.
Well, I suppose it is better than Valdosaurus in that it has big pointy teeth and 8 other dinosaurs, right?
Well, and everyone's a fan of big pointy teeth, and Neovenator, it is a big dinosaur. Not quite as big as a T-Rex, but still a really fearsome carnivore. And it's an animal that's a very close relative of some other big carnivores from elsewhere in the world, in particular Carcharodontosaurus, a famous huge meat eater from North Africa.
A sharp-toothed dinosaur's near-complete skeleton stands hunched in a museum display case. An animation of its silhouette accompanies text that reads Neovenator, Neovenator, new hunter, length 7.4 meters, diet carnivorous, lived early Cretaceous.
We're talking about meat eaters. What about Eotyrannus?
So as many people know, I actually don't like tyrannosaurs very much, so this is not going to be one of my favourites.
But it was a relative of T-Rex, and that makes it super cool in lots of people's opinions.
A close-up image of a sharp-toothed, wide-eyed dinosaur. A camera pans down over dark, bony fossil fragments. An animation of the long-tailed dinosaur accompanies text that reads Eotyrannus, Eotyrannus, dawn tyrant, length 5 meters, diet carnivorous, lived early Cretaceous.
It does, and actually it's one of the earliest members of the family that contains T-Rex, so it's about something like 60 million years older than T-Rex, so it helps us to understand a bit more about the roots of T-Rex's family tree.
Eotyrannus also had remains of a baby iguanodontian dinosaur in its gut, so we know that it was eating some of the other dinosaurs that lived here on the island.
So thinking about animals that might need some defence against large carnivores brings us on to our 5th choice, which is an animal called Polacanthus, an armoured dinosaur.
Polacanthus probably had short limbs, it was very, very wide, it had armour all over its back, and its head, although we don't actually have very many skulls from this animal, and it was probably a relatively slow-moving plant eater.
Numerous small weathered fossil fragments rest in a museum display case. An animation of a spiky dinosaur silhouette accompanies text that reads Polacanthus, Polacanthus, many spines, length 5 meters, diet herbivorous, lived early Cretaceous.
But it does show that we had a huge variety of dinosaurs here on the island, not everything from these long-necked giants down to the armoured tank-like dinosaurs, and also lots of different types of meat-eating dinosaurs that were preying on them.
So this brings us to our favourite dinosaur from the Isle of Wight, which is Mantellisaurus.
And it's one of our favourites because it's probably one of the most complete dinosaur skeletons ever discovered in the UK.
It was a plant-eating dinosaur that stood on 2 legs, but may have gone down onto 4 legs from time to time. And it probably moved quite quickly.
A dinosaur's near-complete skeleton stands hunched in a large museum display case. An animation of the long-tailed dinosaur's silhouette accompanies text that reads Mantellisaurus, Mantellisaurus, mantle reptile, length 7 meters, diet herbivorous, lived early Cretaceous.
And as far as we know, Mantellisaurus was fairly common and it lived in herds, and it was one of many different types of what we call iguanodontian dinosaurs that were roaming the island during the Cretaceous period.
So these are 6 of the dinosaurs that you can find here on the Isle of Wight, but actually there are loads more, and we're still describing and finding new ones all the time.
On the left-hand side, a narrow navy blue rectangle displays the credits. Film, Ben Webber, NHM Studios. Research, Emily Osterloff. Science, Paul Barrett, Susanna Maidment. Archive, Matt Dempsey, Funk Monk, Scott Hartman, Martin Munt, Ivan Iafrida.
If you liked hearing about the dinosaurs of the Isle of Wight, please comment below, and then you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Music Audio Network. With thanks to the National Trust Enterprises Limited, Lobster Locations Limited, the Natural History Museum logo, consisting of the letters NHM repeated in a concentric circular formation, is displayed on the right-hand side. Text at the bottom reads, "Copyright owned by the trustees of the Natural History Museum, London."